I want to make a quick video, just ranting about. I think that Tesla camper van will be a super nice product in the future. And I don't think people realize the potential of that product, and I want to just talk about it, mostly for myself as well. So one of the biggest thing with the current camper van is that it depreciates in value super fast, and then it's just super high maintenance cost. So, for example, a camper van typically will drop in value in like 50% in first year or two, and that really prevents people from buying it for any cost perspective. Like, I don't want to buy something and lose so much value so quickly. And I think with electrical camper van, it would just keep its value so much better if its drivetrain can last, 500,000 to 1 million miles easily. That will keep its cost much better. Another headaches for the camper van, traditional camper van, is that it just things break down all the time. That's all you hear about. And just super annoying to fix things. And I think Tesla can really solve that problem, both in the reliability of the electrical drivetrain, but also that I believe they will design product to be streamlined that not only it'll be lower cost, but also just reliable. Things just can be designed reliably at good cost. So I foresee Tesla can come out with a camper van that is like streamlined. So currently, if you go to buy a traditional camper van, you can pick like 50, 100 different combination of options you can pick from. And and I think Tesla will definitely get away from the approach where they will streamline to just one, two models, and maybe all that does is just one interior choice, and you can choose different battery size, and that's about it. Limited option, but also that just help you build your production line super efficiently in terms low cost. That's how they keep the Cybertruck cost low, even though they have so much features built into low end. But even higher ends, they still have the same interiors. And I think Tesla will do the same for the camper van to lower the cost that way. And electrical camper van just have so much advantages compared to traditional ones. Like everything will be powered by electric, including the cookings and heatings, and so you don't need to carry additional diesel powers on top to power things. Um, let's say if you not necessarily cost, because diesel fuel is not expensive really to operate, but it just save you in terms of convenience. Just so convenient where it's a push and ready to go option instead of you have to worry about your diesel fuel every week everywhere you go. Couple things Tesla van can do is like a building solar roof. As you can see, all the camper van nowadays, solar roof it's additional power watt or additional solar panels on top of the car. That's just bad for aerodynamics. I can easily foresee Tesla have this similar solar roof option that built into a camper van car that's just directly on top and nothing stick out, and it's excellent for aerodynamics and great for the power as well. So that's that. I can also foresee that even the Starlink satellite option can be a built-in option. So a lot of headaches is in a van life is that you worry about bad cell receptions everywhere you go, or in a lot of spots you go, we get no receptions. Where Starlink satellite just really solve that option and provides SpaceX a really good source of revenue of customers. So, and imagine for young people that have internet access is super important for them, and that would just make the product super popular. If you don't have to worry about your internet access anywhere you go, that's a huge advantages. Um, I talked about building electrical cooktops. Yeah, I mentioned that already. And I believe the camper van, I'm foreseeing a style of camper van. It's just a regular van size gonna be super tall, but still everything gonna fit into one parking spot. So people can drive even from work home and travel everywhere without too much parking hassle. I think that's a huge demand for that kind of camper van instead of giant trailers that people tow with. I mean, but Cybertruck gonna have that option, so that's a different product. I think the van should have definitely will have built-in showers and built-in toilets to make it totally independent. Like all these camper van videos talk about how awesome the camper van is, and I think a lot of them don't mention, oh, by the way, I don't have a toilet, I don't have a shower, and it's like, no, that product sucks. Just let's be honest. Like, doesn't matter how cool you modify your camper van to be if you have to go somewhere else or worry about all the time about where you take shower, where you go to the toilet. It's just not good experience realistically. But I think Tesla will have a van slightly big enough to include these features in there. I can foresee a product where if a van have big enough battery packs, good enough solar power regeneration, and big enough water tanks, and you don't need to resupply diesel gas, that the van can be parked and maybe only need to be resupplied once a week. It's just so convenient. Like only once a week you worry about your resupplies, and most of the time you can live in your van comfortably. Don't worry about much. And of course, with Tesla options, autonomous driving, not even that, just assistant driving on highway for long distance travels. Also camper modes where it's built in, you can have just live comfortably in a van without worry about air conditioning, heating separately. Just a better products. And because electrical vans depreciate value so little, like a traditional camper van, the cost of renting it is so expensive, costs like $180, $200 for a smaller Class C camper van if you rent it per day, and the cost just inhibitable and just don't quite like it as in terms of cost effective option. And I think electrical camper van can drop that price significantly just because the powertrain lasts so long. Like it makes sense. I can foresee a product where young people will rent a camper van, for example, for half a year, and they just take a break from their work and just travel around the country, see the country for like half years. And it's really not viable nowadays just because cost is so high for young people to rent it for half year or buy it and resell it half year later because you depreciate so much value. So people like the idea of escape from responsibilities for a little bit and travel, but it's so expensive to execute the plan. But I think with Tesla's camper van, that cost will be dropped so much that it's really really doable, that it would be a trend that young people would do that. And I certainly love to do that, even though I have a regular day jobs that pays well. But I still love the idea of travel for a long time in a van that is such low maintenance and affordable cost. And you'd be so popular. So that's one of the ideas. Another idea is a van life, just living in a van. Like the idea of fire movement is quite popular, and I heard that for example, in the city like Austin, Texas, where mobile home become very popular as part of fire movement. But the downside is that just to give yourself a spot in a mobile home area costs you like $600-700 a month, and then you have to buy the mobile home on top of that. Now, I thought to myself, yeah, maybe it's cheaper than you buying yourself a home in Austin area, but still, that's so expensive monthly wise for fire communities. And I think tons of fire community would jump the gun, and go to a van style living. If a van style living is comfortable and affordable, I mean, mostly just comfortable because it would definitely be affordable. living in the trucks and save tons of money, rent free. Um, then instead of buying these mobile homes that's depreciating value, and then the land parking spot it's so expensive every month. And I just foresee tons of people going to live in their vans. And again, the key word is comfortably. Unlike nowadays, traditional camper van is not that comfortable really. You worry about resupplies all the time, and you worry about things break down all the time. So I foresee like when a tester come out with its camper van, it just the mass adoption of younger people want to do that method, especially in fire communities, to lower their monthly costs and save tons of money, and then able to drive their van and see travel the world if they want to. Just so popular, and like van life videos is so popular nowadays, and tons of it is about converting their vans to something internally to something they like. And I think Tesla just come up with a product is so easily accessible for everybody without putting the work of converting the van that the again Tesla electrical van video blog would be just so popular. An easy comparison would be like a tradition nowadays a nice comfortable new minivan style camper van would run you roughly 100,000, 110,000 per vehicle. And I think, or more, slightly more, but I think Tesla can come out with the camper van easily around, low end maybe 70K, high end would be 80, 90K cost. Again, lowering cost, but another key thing is that at this relative high cost for Tesla, the battery pack will be just so big, you'd be just live comfortably without recharging for a week. You just don't have to worry about charging it. And low maintenance that just super cost competitive compared to current camper vans. So that's basically my rant, and I just want to talk about. I think the product will be awesome. Tesla camper van product will be awesome. Tons of young people um, will really like that product, will buy it, and be part of this younger generation movement. I mean, again, not mass majority of young people, but just slight portion of young people who love to rent a van or even buy a van, resell it later, and live that style for just short period of time, save tons of money, um, uh, and live comfortably and travel a lot of places. That product will be popular. And it almost I think that area, that product will even it's into the starter home areas where, especially in the intercities where entry level home just unaffordable for so many young people, and they just say screw it. I mean, living in this van, it's comfortable, save me tons of money over a long period of time, and no compromises. I still got my internet. Things don't break down. I don't have to worry about fixed things all the time. And hey, it's Tesla brand, so that's my rant. And I think hopefully in a few years Tesla will come out with a product, and I see if my predictions make it's much correct. Thanks.